exactly how I feel. I feel like crap. Like Mother Nature is here. She is in full effect. And I am so tired. I don't want to be doing this. But it had been sitting on my heart and my chest. First of all, before I get into all of that, if this is your first time watching, my name is Unique, but girl, you can call me Nene. So I wanted to make this video today just, just to make myself feel a little better anyway, because I feel so down. And I needed to do a little bit of skincare today. I've already washed my face, but I wanted to get into like a skin mask. I don't know what's going on with my eyes this morning. They are red, they're low. We just gonna roll with it, okay? But we fix get to a little skincare. Oh, actually, I might wash my face again. I have some CeraVe. This is what I use every single day. I normally don't do all this extra. Like, I only really do that maybe a couple times a month. But I use this every single day. So I'm having that. I have my, I'm gonna double mask. I have like this little sample size of some Glam Glow. This is really good for when it's that time of the month and I'm getting those hormonal breakouts. This seems to dry it up really good. It's the Super Mud. And for hydration, I'm gonna be using the Peter Thomas Roth Water Drench. This is good like when your face is kind of dry, and especially after a really drying mask, I like to go in with a moisturizing one. I have this in here. This is my Clinique Moisture Surge overnight mask. It's supposed to be for overnight, but I wear it like all throughout the day. So, oh, and I forgot my vitamin E oil. Let me get that. Okay, this is my vitamin E oil. I use this like as big as this bottle is. I can go through some vitamin E oil. I feel like it is just so healing. Like right now, I feel like my cheeks are kind of breaking out a little bit, and it heals it so beautifully, and it takes away some of the uncomfortable feeling. So I'm gonna go ahead and wash my face again. Even though I did not want to, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do none of this. I did get up and go for my walk, and I did my morning prayer. I did all of that. So I'm very proud of myself. But again, I don't want to do none of this. So you are not alone. If you got up this morning and you were just over it, you are not alone, ma'am. So I wanted to do a little skincare, make myself feel a little better. But I also wanted to talk about something that I talked to my mother about a couple days ago, and I felt like this could be a topic that really helps somebody, because I feel like we as humans oftentimes take this feeling of normalcy and make it into something that's not normal. It is normal to feel jealousy. It is normal to feel like, woe is me sometimes if things are not going your way, or if you pray for something. If it ain't my kids, it's my dog, child. Come on. Come on, baby. Anywho, so I wanted to bring it up because you look at people's lives, and I think for one, it's easier when you don't know the person. When you don't know them, it's easier to kind of be like, man, like they get everything. Like, when it's your friend or your family, you're in the trenches with them, you understand. Girl, can I talk? But you understand, you have a better understanding of their life and what they've gone through and their trials and tribulations because you were there. It's easy when you see somebody that be blessed, because it makes you feel like, wow, they really deserve that. They deserve to have everything because of what they've gone through. But when you don't know the person, it's very easy to just feel those feelings of envy and jealousy and all that good stuff, because you don't know, you're not aware of their struggles. But I wanted to share some of my struggles because I know where God is taking me. It is going to be easy for things to just look a certain way. And my whole purpose for getting on YouTube and even making these videos is to be a testimony to somebody. My prayer before I record these videos is always, Lord, let this touch somebody. Let somebody be able to relate to this story or this experience or these words of encouragement. Whatever it is, let people be able to relate. I love to be relatable. So I wanted to talk about it because when you're in a space where, you might be doing the worst you've ever done in your entire life, and everybody around you is being blessed and they're getting all these things. Some of the things that they're getting, they don't even want. They don't even want those. These are the things that you want that they're getting. And I watched a sermon. My sister-in-law sent me a sermon a while ago. It's by Pastor John Jenkins on YouTube. I don't know what state he's out of or whatever, but he's an excellent pastor. And he did a sermon about it. And in the sermon, he said, and it will stick with me for the rest of my life. He said, when God blesses your neighbor, that just means he's in the neighborhood. He's right down the street from your house. He's making his way to your house to be able to fulfill the desires that he put in you to have. And I feel like that was so encouraging to me. It was so encouraging. It changed a lot because it is easy to get caught up in what things look like. And especially here on YouTube and a social media period, it is so easy to get caught up in what things appear to be. And that's not the way they've always been. It's not. And like I said, I know I'm confident in where God is taking me and my family. And I don't ever want anybody to get it misconstrued. I don't. Let me get into the skincare too. So in this time, at one point in my life, I was a single mother. I have a 10-year-old daughter, and up until she was 4 years old, I was a single mom. And I worked a pretty decent job. It wasn't just the most, highest paying job, but it was a good job, enough for me to provide for myself. And when you work in corporate, and you work with people, I used to work with people who had their own ranch, who drove super nice cars, and they made a lot of money. And it is easy for people to think that because you work with these people that you must got all this money too. And that's not the truth. Here in Texas, you have to be, very, very low income. Unless it's different with the whole pandemic and all that stuff. But before all of this, you had to make half of nothing to get assistance. And I would apply, and every time I would get denied. And, it was always, you made too much. But when I got paid and when I started looking at my bills and, childcare, everything was just so expensive. And I didn't have, my daughter's father has never really been an active part of her life like that. So I didn't have that help like that. And I would always just be like, man, how am I going to make it? And I remember getting a second job. I was working Monday through Friday at my normal job. And Saturday and Sunday, I worked 12-hour days, so 24-hour weekend at this place called Comfort Keeping. And it was a company where they would go out to either the client's home or to the nursing home to care for them. So I would go, to these places. I would, wipe behind and feed them and everything else. And, it was really hard. It was hard. Something my aunt Rossi told me one time when I was a little girl. She was like, if I had support from my kid's father, I couldn't sit up here and lie and say that, being a single mother was hard. And I never thought in a million years I would be in her shoes. You know what I'm saying? I didn't come from a one-parent household. So I always envisioned myself being married and having support. Or even if I wasn't married, I just thought I would have, the support of the father. And unfortunately, I didn't. And it's okay. God has made up for it in a major way. He has made up for it a billion times over. But during that time, it was really difficult, and I understood what she meant, because during that time, I was like, man, if I had my daughter's father to, take her on the weekends or help me financially and just be, a father, I couldn't say it was just that hard, because I would have help. I wouldn't be up worried about how I was going to make my rent, how my car note was going to get paid, how I was going to have gas, how I was going to pay for daycare, how we were going to get food. Like, these were my concerns during that time. And if you've never been a single parent or known one, you will never understand what that feels like, because you have a life that you have to take care of. Like, that's your child. You have to take care of it, or of him or her. And it's scary. It is scary. It is lonely. And there were many a times that I had to overdraft for gas. I remember at one point in time, I would have like $5 or $10 on me. And my mind during the day at work would be on getting my work completed. But it was also, how am I going to make this $10 last for the week? For the week. And, I would, I have amazing parents. So I would ask my mom, like, hey, can you help me with some gas or something? And I never wanted to be that child that was always asking for help. I'm very prideful, very prideful. But my mom would be like, well, I already asked for gas, so I'm not going to trouble anybody with, okay, well, I asked you for gas, I'm going to go ask you for this. I would just try to figure it out on my own. And it's amazing looking back on how creative I became during that time. And, I would just figure it out. I would just figure it out. And I'm proud of myself for doing that. I don't recommend people not asking for help. Like, always ask for help. Don't be like me. But, I did it. I don't know how. Oh, well, let me not say. I know how. God was with me every step of the way. But to this day, there are things that my parents have no idea that I went through, and it was intentional because I didn't want them to worry. I'm a parent, and I didn't want them to think I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? And y'all understand what I mean. And, I didn't want people to think that about me. But I did what I needed to do, and God made up for everything that I lacked. And I feel like that time in my life taught me what true empathy is for other people. I am probably one of the most empathetic people that you could ever meet, because I understand that everybody's story looks so different. I understand that people who are trying to make themselves feel or appear to have it all together normally have nothing together. They don't, because I was one of them. I was one of them. I never wanted people to think I didn't have anything. I didn't have any money. I never wanted people to think that about me. So what do? You put on the front. You put on the front. You put on this mask. You wear this pretend hat that you're fine. Everything is okay. And through, talking to like pastors, talking to my therapist, I've learned that it is okay to not have it all together. It is okay to not have it all together in front of other people. That's the key. All of it is for, to appear to be a certain way in front of other people. And they don't matter. They don't. We all know somebody who is like, man, like, she don't really be having it like that, but she is in this and in that, and she has the newest of this and have the newest of that, trying to keep up, trying to appear that they have it together. And I think after so long, you get tired of that. You get tired of that. You know the people who are with you, who are supporting you. You know those people. So it's like, why do I need to pretend? And I would look at people during that time and I would be so jealous. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there are still days where I feel feelings of envy. And a lot of my envy has to do with character and dealing. You always envy something you lack, right? I feel like I lack composure sometimes. I fall apart really easily. Maybe not in front of a lot of people, but at home or in my private life, I fall apart really easily. And I stress a lot about things that, and I'm getting better. Let me give myself some credit. I'm getting better about it. But I look at people like my older cousin Angie. I look at her and I'd be like, man, like she has gone through some really hard stuff. And she still remains just humble, and I'm sure behind closed doors, child, I don't know what go on, but when I see her and how she presents herself to the world is like, maybe not I'm okay, but I know how to deal with this. That at least that's how it appears. I know, Angie, I love you. I know you probably watching this like, girl, like but to me, I look up to her as my older cousin because I aspire to be that way. I want my kids to see a strong Black woman, a strong mother that they can model themselves after. I want them to be able to feel things, feel what you feel. But I don't want my kids to see me just always stressed or always worried, concerned about, this and that. Like, I don't want that for them. I don't want it for me. But I envy things like that. I envy when I see women who are just cool. Y'all know that woman that is just so cool. Like, she's just so like forthcoming with things. She doesn't care what people think, what people have to say. She don't care. She's just like, this is what I did. This, this me. This is how, I love that because I feel like I'm her to an extent, but a part of me still cares. You know what I'm saying? A part of me still cares. And I feel like I don't want to ever be in the place of caring. And I envy women who just don't care. And not just I don't care, I'm just saying that. But I don't care in my actions, in the way the way I present myself. I don't care what people think. This is what's real. When it comes to character things, those take experience. That's life experiences that come about with things like that. But it is so easy to look at people and even the women that are just cool, they went through some stuff. They wasn't just born cool and handling and have it all together. They had to go through some things to become that type of woman. And for me, especially being on here and doing this, is I don't ever want people to look at me in that way. I want you to know my story. I want you to be able to relate to my story. Because for me, the people that I know their stories, I'm more amped to be excited for them. When I know what they've gone through, when I know, the truth, when I know what the truth is about their life, when they have these things, even though you should rejoice for everybody, you should. I feel like those feelings of envy and jealousy don't come in as much when I know what's going on with them. And I felt like, even though I didn't have to, you don't have to justify your life or anything like that. But I feel like that's something I wanted people to know, because people might see me now and be like, oh, she's so God-fearing. She is so this and so that. And baby, it was not, this is a new me. This new outlook, this new openness and all of this is a new version of me. There were times where I did not want to pray. I didn't want to go to God. I was like, you don't hear me. You let me sit in this space. Like, you ain't here for me. Like, why should I be there for you? I would just see people get the things that they desired. And I would be like, okay, he visited your house. He ain't come to mine. I offered him steak and everything else over here. He ain't come to my house. Becoming more mature in Christ, becoming more mature as a woman, you understand that everything you go through has a purpose, which means everything that you do should have a purpose. And even though like this is so new to me, recording myself, telling my story, I'm very private. Very. Like, you gotta be an A1 day one to know anything about me. But I also feel like my purpose is to share my story, to hear other women's story, and to be of a comfort to people, because hearing other people's stories was a comfort to me. And I'm not a very money driven person. You know, I don't want everything that's just not my personality. There are people that's their thing, and that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not a person that just seeks money and things like that. I seek purpose. I seek purpose. With your purpose, if you're doing something that you're supposed to be doing, financial gain and all that will come. I want to be comfortable with sharing my story with people because it could help. You know, I've never felt so free in my entire life since the day I push record. And I'm just being honest. I have not felt as free. And just, you know, becoming that woman that don't care. Trying to become her, becoming her has really helped me a lot. And really understanding what this is. What my purpose is, to reach an audience of people and to share, you know, God's word while doing so. That's what this is about. And I feel so confident in that. And I want to share with y'all and encourage y'all that if you feel envy or jealousy toward a person, or whether you know them or not, understand that your time is coming. It is coming. Understand that it might not be in the timing that you desire it to be, but it's going to come. And God is going to make everything, He's going to make up for everything. Everything, and that's another thing about 2022 as well, is I feel like this is the year of God restoring everything that was taken. Everything from 2020, 2021, I feel like He's restoring a lot of things. And while He's restoring me in my life, I want to be blessing other people, you know, pouring out while He's pouring into me. And like I said, even though, let me wash this off my face. Give me a moment, please. I'm gonna use one of my clean skin. I love these, y'all. I literally cannot dry my face off with anything else, even though these are so unnecessary. They're like $20 on Amazon for a box of like 50. But these are just so luxe. They're disposable towelettes, and they just feel so good. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. Like, you're in a place where you feel like, you know, God does not hear you. He does. He does. And He is just ready for you to do what you need to do so that He can do what He needs to do. And it took me so long to learn that, but I'm glad that I did. And I wanted to be an encouragement to somebody, because I know that is a very hard thing to go through and to feel, but it is so normal. It is so very normal. When I was talking to my mom about this, she was like, baby, I think you need to share this with somebody. There is somebody that needs to hear that their blessing is on the way, that they're about to be restored, you know, and that you were once in that place that they are right now, wondering where God is, why he ain't answering this, and why is life going this way. And but this person over here, they don't even, they don't even pray half the time. But I'm over here praying and fasting and doing all this stuff, and ain't nothing happening for me. But it's because my blessing a little bigger. He got something deeper. That's just surface stuff. He trying to get us some surface stuff. My prayer is for me, to be able to do things for my family and all that good stuff. But I want to be joyous. I want to have joy no matter what my bank account looks like, no matter what my house looks like, no matter what my car looks like. I want to have joy, because the last thing I want is to live in $1 million home and drive $100,000 cars and be so empty and unfulfilled and miserable. I'm like, God, if that's what's gonna happen, you can keep it. I want to have joy, and I want to be able to spread that joy with somebody who, may not have it. You know what I mean? So, wanted to just get on here and show myself a little love, because I need it today. I need it today. I just feel like getting up under the bed. That's what I feel like today. But I wasn't gonna let the devil steal my joy. I wasn't gonna let it steal my joy. And I was gonna get up and make something of this day. And I hope that y'all do the same. I hope that anything or something that I said in this video, struck you, in your spirit, in your soul, in your heart, and that you took something from this. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, do all those good things. And if you have not heard it yet today, you are loved, you are beautiful, you are special, you are everything right in this world. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.